Hi guys, this is Vitaly with AFT Dispatch and A2C Logistics, and in today's video, I'd like to talk to you about reason, logic, and respect. Now, before I jump in, I'd like to ask you to please like the video, be sure you subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a single release of our videos, where every Friday we talk about something that could benefit you in your trucking businesses, in your trucking careers, as well as cover the loads we've successfully booked for our customers, consisting of leased on owner-operators, as well as carriers operating under their own MC authorities, running under our truck dispatch services. So thanks for the likes, guys. Let's get the show on the road. Reason, logic, and respect. What do I mean by that? Well, here's the thing, guys. We've been going through one of the very best freight markets in the industry in a very, very long time. It's definitely been a bull market for some time. Those of you who've successfully gone through the difficult times of March, April, and May and are now benefiting and taking advantage of the high-paying freight loads that we've been able to book for you guys every single week are definitely seeing the increase in your bottom line. And the strong markets, in combination with a very strong set of dispatchers, professional guys who know what they're doing every day, booking freight for you guys, it results in very good averages for you guys weekly. And we've been showing you these weekly rates for 18 weeks now from the time of this recording, and been very open and nonchalant about the kind of loads and rates that we've been able to get to our customers, our real customers we book every single day, every single week, and on and on and on. And our goal is to maximize rates. Every time we go out there, our intention is to maximize rates, get you the best loads, go to the right markets, make sure that we can get you the very best so that your averages are as high as possible. Now, the problem is that a lot of folks have forgotten their humble beginnings and where they've come from. We've had customers, one in particular, he used to book his $4,000 or $5,000 a week, and and he came to us and said, look, if you can get me $10,000 a week, I'm a happy camper. That's fantastic. And and guess what? Our dispatchers got him. They got him $10,000 a week. But by next week, they asked for $12,000. And lo and behold, our dispatchers got him $12,000 by the end of the week. They found a way, they squeezed it out. However, by next week after that, they got, they asked for $15,000 for a week. Now let me hold off for a second. Whatever happened to the $20,000 gross that most truckers out there had? Make $20,000 in gross income, pay your operating expenses, and bring a modest paycheck home. Whatever happened to a $2 average of saying, hey, you know what? Hit $2 a mile, shoot for $2 a mile. If you can average that on all your miles, you are doing very, very well. Things are good. Whatever happened to that? So now apparently, what we used to make in a month, at $20,000 a month, people now want to make nearly that much in a week. So you want to quadruple your income using the same equipment, and you're not taking high-paying freight because it's not paying an extraordinarily high dollar amount. Well, here's the thing. We had another customer who basically said no to $450 a mile. $450 a mile, and I'm not talking about 100 miles or 200 miles. I'm talking about a full day worth of miles going to a good market on a Friday at the end of the week. It would put extra money in their pocket. It would effectively and efficiently use their hours of service. It would get them closer to 34-hour reset, put extra money, finish off the week strong, and get them started on Monday with a fresh set of hours. They decided to wait because apparently $450 a mile is not good enough anymore, and they ended up losing that load because that load was gone in less than 2 minutes off the boards. And no matter how hard our dispatcher tried to really persuade them in taking the load, saying, hey, look, this is the very best cream of the crop in the market that you're in, and it's going to a good area. This is really to your advantage. You should do it, and you're going to use up your hours and be able to take your 34-hour reset, and it'll work out really, really well. They didn't do it, ended up taking 34-hour reset over a period of 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, started off on Monday, and guess what? It doesn't sound very reasonable or very logical to me. Another customer is asking for 2 loads of $1,000 a piece per day, every single day. And basically, they have to be straight through loads in order to accommodate for their, for the schedule, because of transit times, loading, unloading, and they have to be able to make sure that they get 2 loads a day at that dollar amount in order to be able to, hit their goals weekly and monthly. And the problem is that that's improbable. It's not. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's highly unlikely. We have to remember the rates that we used to get back in the day, right? And also consider that this is not going to continue indefinitely, and that you should probably set some money aside for a rainy day. You also have to remember that you're going to be working with the same broker. So when a broker gives you a very reasonable $450 a mile, $5 a mile, very, very reasonable, and you're pushing them to $6 or $7 a mile, Yeah, you might get that rate here and there. The problem is it will not be consistent, and that broker has a very long memory, and you're going to have to work with them in the future. When the markets flip, the tables turn, you're going to be on the other side there, and they're never going to forget how they were treated at that time, and they're going to take advantage of you by giving you cheap freight or not choosing not to deal with you in the future. Finally, I want to talk to you about the last part of this video, which is respect. It has come to my attention that some of our customers have been very rude, disrespectful. They've yelled at our dispatchers, and they've been, less than pleasant. They've been very rude. They've been profane. They've yelled, swore, hung up their phones on the dispatchers. Keep in mind, guys, these guys are professional. They're working very hard to get you the money that you've been getting every single week for as long as you've worked with us. In many cases, we've made a lot of money for you guys. We've taken over the paperwork. They do a lot of work. They call through a lot of brokers. They deal with a lot of packets. They call insurance companies, deal with factors. They deal with NOAs. They deal with all sorts of things every single day to get you the money that you guys are making every day. And they're human beings as well. They have families they have to go back to, and the last thing they want to do is remember at the end of the day how badly they were treated, mistreated, and how rudely someone spoke with them or hung up the phone on them because they didn't get the money that they were shooting for, that just maybe a few months ago they couldn't even dream of making. So keep that in mind, guys. They're professionals, they're human beings, and if you get an opportunity talking to them next time, maybe express a little gratitude, say thank you. They'll certainly appreciate you for it. So I'm going to switch over to camera, and again, I'm not knocking anybody in particular. I just want to kind of remind folks that let's not forget our humble beginnings. And I'm going to switch over to camera. We're going to look at the loads we booked for our customers. Hold on. Talk to you in a moment. All right, welcome back, guys. Let's take a look at some of these loads. Another excellent week for vans, reefers, and as you'll see, even flatbeds. So we're coming out with Grand Rapids, Michigan, going to Pierre, South Dakota. It was air hose reels at 35,000 pounds. This was 965 miles booked at $2,400, which got them $249 per mile. Then Harold, South Dakota, going to Moberly, Missouri, 42,000 pound load of bird food, 671 miles booked at $1,750, which got them $261 per mile. Then a load out of Auburn, Illinois, going to Springdale, Arkansas. That's fence crowning at only 2,000 pounds. That's 412 miles booked at $1,400, which got them $340 per mile. Then a load out of Monet, Missouri, going to Sunfield, Michigan, 8,000 pound load of cartons, super light load again, 743 miles, $1,700 booked at $229 per mile. They ran for a week, got a 34-hour reset done at home, grossed $7,250. Ran 2,791 miles and ended up still grossing an average of $260 per mile. Very good money for a dry van this week. Excellent job. Then some reefers coming out of Jonesboro, Arkansas, going to Streetsboro, Ohio. It was frozen food at -10, 42,000 pounds. 729 miles booked at $3,800, which got him $521 per mile. Then a load out of Cleveland, Ohio, going to Union City, Tennessee. 40,000 pound load of spices kept at 0 degrees, 607 miles booked at $1,475, which got him $243 per mile. Then a load out of Jonesboro, Arkansas, going to Gaffney, South Carolina, 37,000 pound load of frozen food at -10, 643 miles booked at $3,300, which got him $513 per mile. All in all, they ran Saturday to Friday, grossed $85.75 at an average of $433 per mile, loaded mile, and $388 with that had included, running 1,979 miles. So good amount of miles, excellent rate, fantastic gross. That was a reefer. Next, some team freight with a dry van running out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, going to Cold Spring, Minnesota. That's basically a very, very light load of 4,000 pounds of empty cans, 1,197 miles booked at $3,200, booked at $267 per mile. Then Cannon Falls, Minnesota, going to Charlotte, North Carolina. Another light load of 20,000 pounds coming out at 1,147 miles, booked yet again at $3,200, which got them $279 per mile. Excellent runs because they grossed $6,400. As a team, ran 2,344 miles, so not many miles. But what's cool is that they came from home out in North Carolina, went to Minnesota, then from Minnesota went back to North Carolina and came back home, made some excellent money in a very short period of time. Made $6,400, ran 2,344 miles at an average of 273 per mile in a dry van. Next, we have some flatbeds. As you know, flatbeds have not been doing as well as other trailer types, but in this case, it's an exception. This was a one pick, two dropper. It's a load of lumber at about 47,000 pounds. Required tarping coming out of Montevallo, Alabama, going to two dropper in Houston, Texas, and Phoenix, Arizona. 1,839 miles booked at $5,500, which got him $299 per mile. Then a load out of Heber, Arizona, going to Horizon City, Texas. This was full load of lumber, required tarping again, and 401 miles, $850 booked at $212 per mile. Then a load out of El Paso, Texas, going to Grand Prairie, Texas. So they took him out of a fairly bad area to a much better area. 624 miles booked at $1,100, and that got him $176. And positioned them in a good spot. This was a load of plywood. It required tarping. It weighed 46,120 pounds, but all in all, they ran for 5 days, 5 days of work, ran Thursday to Wednesday, and basically $7,450 gross at $260 per loaded mile, an excellent average for flatbeds, and did a very, very good job. 2,864 miles ran at 260 per mile. For a flatbed, excellent job, guys. Then we have some reefer freight coming out of Ogden, Utah, going to Coppell, Texas. 34,000 pound load of FAK running at 72 degrees Fahrenheit. 1,285 miles ran at $4,500, which got them $350 per mile. Then a load coming out of Dangerfield, Texas, going to Denver, Colorado. It was a load of roofing shingles, 902 miles booked at $2,800, which got them $310 per mile. Then a load out of Aurora, Colorado, going to West Valley City, Utah. And that was a light load of 6,000 pounds. It was a frozen food at negative 10 degrees, 528 miles booked at $1,200, which got them $227 per mile. They ran for 6 days, Friday to Thursday. $8,500 gross, average $313 per mile on their 2,715 miles. And what's interesting is that he started from his home in Salt Lake City, picked up his load out of Ogden. It's very, very close, and then ended up back in West Valley City, which is basically, Salt Lake proper. It's very, very close. West Valley is just around the corner, and he needed to get back home. And got back home on Thursday afternoon, made $8,500, averaged $313 a mile. Couldn't ask for anything better than that. Then we got some dry vans coming out of Ripon, Wisconsin, going to Missoula, Montana. 25,000 pound load of washers and dryers. 1,424 miles booked at $4,500, which is $316 per mile. And a load out of Dillon, Montana, going to Atlanta, Georgia. This was 43,000 pound load of minerals on pallets. 2,074 miles booked at $5,000, which got them $241 per mile. All in all, Monday to Monday, it's a week of work, grossed $9,500 during that period, averaged $272 per loaded mile, and this driver loves his long runs, and he got exactly what he asked for. Ran 3,498 miles, grossed $9,500, and at an average of $272 per mile. Excellent rates coming out of mountains areas, going, in a dry van, excellent rates, almost $10,000 gross for the week. Then we got some vans coming out of Joliet, Illinois, going to Byron Center, Michigan, which is 22,693 pounds of dry product. Ran for 180 miles, booked at $900, which got him exactly $5 per mile. Then Muskegon, Michigan, going to Elk Grove Village, Illinois, a very good area. 8,000 pound light load of dry product, 210 miles, booked at $800, which got him $381 per mile. And a load out of Chicago, going to Louisville, Kentucky. A very light load again, 5,000 pounds of auto parts, 321 miles booked at $1,700, which got them $530 per mile. Averaging out, they only ran for 3 days, running Tuesday to Thursday, grossed $3,400 in 3 days, barely ran any miles at 711 miles. And as you can see, all the freight was very, very light, so they saved a lot of money on fuel and averaged $478 per mile. Then we have a dry van coming out of Deming, New Mexico, not a good area, going to Las Vegas, Nevada, a very good area, being that Las Vegas has been a very hot market lately. So they moved them actually from a bad area to a good area, 625 miles, 44,000 pounds of consumer goods booked at $2,200, which got them $352 per mile. Not bad, guys, not bad. Considering New Mexico and you're going to Las Vegas and at a good rate, this is excellent, excellent. And plus, he had to go home, lives in Las Vegas, and we were able to get him home at excellent money. Very good. Next, we got Post Falls, Idaho, in a dry van going to Colorado Springs, Colorado. 44,000 pounds of FAK, 1,137 miles, booked at $3,700, which got him 3.25. Then a load out of Golden, Colorado, going to Missoula, Montana. 38,000 pound load of office supply. That's 903 miles, booked at $2,270, which got him $251 per mile. All in all, this guy ended up running 2,040 miles, grossed $5,970 at an average of $293 per mile. Loves the western part of the country, stayed there the entire time, and made some excellent money at some decent miles. So if you want to make this kind of money, as I mentioned, the markets will go down. And if you don't have a good dispatcher on your side, you'll definitely want to get yourself a strong dispatch team for when the markets start to dwindle down. If you're not making this kind of money, or if you're an owner-operator and you need to have a very good lease-on operation that is, honest with you, that gets you these kind of rates, that has an inexpensive way to lease on, we're certainly all about it. If you are an MC holder and you have your own authority, we work with guys like you all the time. And, we can help you guys. All you have to do is call or text us at 801-448-6363. We will get back to you right away. You can also leave us a message on our website. There's a chat box. I'm going to make sure that box kind of goes through and goes in a corner here. You'll see. And you can leave us a message. We usually will get back to you within a day. And you can also go to our website and click any of the Learn More buttons. And you can see that here in the corner. And click to learn more, go to a page, fill out the form. We'll get back to you usually by the next day. And until next week, guys, stay healthy, be wealthy. Take care.